Hey, Darren Yergin here from the 2023 NCAA Division III Baseball World Series here with Salisbury. From left to right, it's Cam Hyder, Brandon Epstein, Coach Troy Brohawn, and Scott Cameron. Coach, just take us through a little opening statement about tonight's game.
Yeah, we came out and put a 6-7 spot up early, and looked really good. And give those guys credit on the other side. I mean, they didn't give up, and we didn't think they would. But they swung the bats extremely well the entire night. We couldn't ever stop the bleeding. And, even early on, once we scored to 7, I think we had a couple opportunities to tack on 2 or 3 here and there with some base runners. Just couldn't get that big hit in those innings. And then they just climbed their way back into it. And, again, 21-7 or whatever the score is, I wouldn't have anticipated that. But again, give those guys credit. They clawed back into it and then never stopped fighting.
Questions for Will?
Brandon, you faced ETBU both nights that we were here, Friday and Sunday. What were you seeing from them today that was similar to Friday? I know your appearance against them wasn't that long, but you still saw them. And what was different about today from Friday?
I wouldn't say much is different. I mean, they hit up in the zone, off-speed pitches. When you don't locate your fastball well, they hit it. Just like Coach Brohawn said, they're a really good hitting team. And when you leave balls up in the zone, good hitters will hit it.
I think that was the key today. I mean, if you look from side view, I can't see location of the plate. But Coach Heenan and myself are standing side view, and I mean, a lot of fastballs just looked belt high today. We didn't have good tilt on them, and give those guys credit for putting good swings on them and making it hurt.
Scotty, you singled in your last at bat and then got lifted for a pinch runner, got to share a big hug with your coach and get a nice ovation. Can you put into words, I guess, what that meant to be able to experience that in your final at bat?
There's a lot of emotions right now. Struggling to put words to it, but it's a moment I won't forget, and I'm just so proud of the senior class and all the young guys and how much they've matured and become great young men.
And I know when we talked at Super Regionals, you were talking about how you were at peace with getting here and knowing that you've gone mileage-wise as far as you can with your teammates, ending your career in Cedar Rapids. It's going to take a bit, but when you look back, what are you going to think about when you think of this group?
I'm going to think about all the bus rides after a nice W, playing Mafia, all the laughs, all the meals at B-Dubs, Chili's, Outback, running up Coach Brohawn's tab at Outback. I'm just going to remember all the great times, all the smiles, just all the fun.
Cam, you're going to go down as having played every single game you could have possibly played in a Sea Gull uniform from your freshman year 2019 to now. How does it feel knowing that you've been, an integral part of this era of Sea Gull baseball and having Coach Brohawn's trust from the downbeat?
I mean, I wasn't a more integral part than any other senior on this class. I played more games, but we all have the same ring on our finger. So we're all immortal in this program. So, it stings right now, but when you look back on it next year, or whenever it comes, we're going to be talking about the runs we made for 4 or 5 years. This is the best part of our lives, and I think I can speak for everyone in our class. The games are the games. They kind of stay out there on the field, but I don't know. I'm gonna miss them, but I'm not gonna miss them because I know I'm gonna be able to call them and text them whenever I want.
And Brandon, I suppose the same question: what does these last 4 or 5 years mean to you, and knowing that you've contributed to a golden age in Salisbury baseball?
Yeah, it feels good to know that we're leaving the team in really good hands. Coach Brohawn and Coach Shires, they always preach nobody's gonna talk about your statistics in the years to come. We're just gonna remember you know, the back-to-back-to-back World Series that we've been at. And like what Cam was saying, you know, there's always a text, a phone call away, and we build a brotherhood here, and it'll keep lasting for years and years.
Jim?
Coach, you talked about the foundation of this run that you've been through, your 14 seniors. Of course, we got 3 represented here. Sort of talk about what they've meant to you and what they meant to the program.
Wow. I mean, that's a long-winded answer. I mean, you know, you have a gamut of what they've each meant. I mean, you know, Cam's came here and started from day one. You got guys like Luke Waddell who walked on and didn't sniff the field for 2.5 years and became a starter and a national champion. Jackson Balzan, who came in from get-go and was the 1 or 2 in the program. Scotty came in and took a year off and then came back like he never skipped a beat. There's just a lot of different emotions for each player that's a senior. I mean, they've continued the culture. They've added to the culture. They've passed down everything that they've learned from seniors before them to the young guys. And you know, we just had a talk out there to the young guys about, you know, don't think just because you've been here 3 times, or you know, maybe you're a freshman, you've been here once, that this happens every single year. I mean, it's hard as hell to get to this point. I mean, a lot of things have to go your way. You know, matchups. You know, the first matchup we had here against East Texas Baptist, I mean, we ran into a buzzsaw. You know, if we face somebody else, maybe it's a different outcome. So all those things come into play when you get here and trying to get here. But these 14 guys have meant the world to the program. And you know, they've left a lot for the younger guys to aspire to be, and to me that's a great accomplishment in itself.
For the group, who was the best Mafia player on the roster?
Well, it definitely is me, because I don't even know how the game's played, so I just sit there and watch and stay confused.
Scotty and Epi are very good. They get voted out pretty quickly.
We get voted out first, which means we're the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Atkins.
Don't get us started on Jimmy.
Cam's always the last one there, so that'll tell you that.
You've opened up a can of worms right now.
Any other questions for these guys? All right, well, that'll wrap things up. I can say with being here throughout your ride here in Cedar Rapids the last 3 times, it's been a pleasure to be around your program and to see, you know, you guys at the highest heights of Division III baseball, and certainly setting a standard. You know, Coach said it's not easy, but getting back to the World Series 3 times in a row, so there's a lot to be proud of for Salisbury baseball, and I think we can expect a lot more to come. So thank you to you for and best of luck going forward.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.